we are. Hello and welcome to Play of the Night, a 5th edition homebrew campaign of Dungeons & Dragons. I am James GC Laird and I will be your humble Dungeon Master once more for our epic stream of tomfoolery, randomness and espionage. Joining me this time we have the full cast, minus one who is on their way. We have Vi playing Ida. We have Storm playing Kiva. We have Robin playing Gerd.
Hello.
We have Jasmine playing May.
Hello.
And we have a currently silent Masquerade playing Misty. We have a unwilling Scorpion on his way, who is currently guesting in as our humble noble, our Sir Calcifer Hamburg.
Humble.
But if you would like to know a little bit more about us, allow myself to introduce you to ourselves. We run an interactive stream, which means that you can get involved in what we do here. By that I mean at the end of the night you will be able to vote in a poll, and that poll will then determine who gets DM Inspiration. DM Inspiration allows for a reroll of D20, potentially turning failure into success. So that's very useful for the party members, and potentially even useful for me if you manage to tie up the vote. So be careful of that. In addition to that, we also have a couple of other stream updates. We now are running a couple of adverts, so please be sure to get involved with our subscriptions and our follows. We're getting pretty close to one of the milestones of Twitch. Don't know what the milestone is, but apparently we're getting close to it, so yay. The other thing that I would like to give update to is if anybody has any ideas on good videos on how to do different overlays or how to do automations or keybinds with Twitch, just let me know, because we're all still very new to this and Abby blind and Blindy boy no good at computer. That all being said, there's a couple of other things that there will be an update to. So in the Dynamic Initiative, which is a system that we use, which helps create a much more fluid, changeable atmosphere for combat, there are a couple of new additions. So for those that are new, to the players, I'll explain what they do. So the dash action is sprinting. You are literally going with your movement as fast as you can. You get +5 to your initiative roll. But let's face it, it makes a lot of sense that you're foregoing drawing any weapons, all the casting of somatic components, and all you're doing is bow the head and rush. The second thing is the help action. That is a flexible piece where it's a +or -3. So say for example you roll a 10 on the d20 and you normally have a +5 to your initiative. Now that means you can go anywhere between 15 +3 up to 18 or 15 -3 to 12. That could be so that you're avoiding and going behind somebody. So for example, you are wanting to assist the cleric in their healing, or you're wanting to assist the fighter in cranking the handle. Now there's no point in you doing I'll run up here and hold my action to do the help thing. It makes more sense to take the help action and then it moves you up and down, thus potentially avoiding conflict, or it could be potentially avoiding the opposition being able to see what you're doing and stop you, because if everyone crowds around the handle that you're trying to escape, they're going to do what they can to stop you from escaping. I think that's pretty much it for announcements. So to tell you what has been going on and how it was that they got themselves the DM Inspiration last time, I will hand it over to Ida. Please take it away, Ida.
Alternatively, for voting for Player of the Night, if you wish to torture someone and make them do the recap, you are more than willing to do that. You're more than welcome to do that. Anyway, so last session featured us sort of digesting the results of our lengthy combat encounter, working for a bunch of, or rather gambling with a bunch of fiendish entities to have our questions answered should our conflicts, our combats be successful. We would get our answers. We are still awaiting those answers. They will be delivered to us in a discreet method via courier from Misty. Now, as far as what happened yesterday, we took our newly acquired and still alive Mortimer to Calcifer's residence to rest and recuperate, because he was very injured at the end of all of that. I mean, the man died. What do you expect? So we invited his family here, and then we were given free reign to just roleplay to our heart's content. And Ida had a few questions for Misty concerning her safety and what she gave up for Mortimer. Ida was under the impression that Misty had forked over herself in exchange for that, but no, it was just an entity that she could no longer call on for aid. What do I do with the ads?
Just continue. The ads are there. Other people will still be able to see past them if they're subscribed and such. So just continue as if they were not there.
Okay, just making sure. So, Ida also then stood up to Misty about her manipulative behavior of Ida, because, hey, that's not how friends should treat each other, but Ida was not quite able to mount a suitable defense to get Misty to stop, and just ran away. After that, we all had dinner and discussed what it was we were doing and what was the likely cause of all of these people having irregular activities, both in their persons and in their financial accounts. The likely words are really failing me today. The likely suspect being the very fiendish gambling ring that we had found. As well, we know for a fact that Mortimer went there and was stuck there for what looks like a good 11 years without really understanding the passage of time in the process. And they are reeling from that nonsense. There was a mandatory therapy session conducted by Kiva to try and stop the panic attack and realize, 11 years of my life are gone. Afterward, though, we basically let the family be as they figure their shit out and what to do with it now. After that, Gerd and Calcifer went shopping, I believe. Gerd, in particular, picked up a bunch of weapons that he is now hauling around in a sack. That I'm pretty sure he intends to start vigorously training all of us. Oh boy. After that, May took Ida to the Dragon Sanctuary to collect evidence. And Ida questioned May about her past and why her martial arts seems to and beliefs are basically completely divergent from the place that she was raised. So that resulted. Essentially, her father figure is where she inherits most of her beliefs and capabilities from, not her actual father, as she was sent away for her own safety, as was Gerd at one point. And then we all go back to Kiva to pick them up from their home because Kiva had a way more than enough of our shit and ditched us for good reason. We were very loud, very argumentative, only to find that Kiva is no longer there and that probably been kidnapped. Definitely been kidnapped, but we don't quite know that yet. And that is the giant cliffhanger that we left on.
You saw someone being stretched out of my house, as I learned that in the middle of the night, 2 people had busted into my bedroom while another had broken in through the front door of the house and told me.
Your microphone still sounds like it's coming from like a camera. If you move closer to your camera, I think we'll hear you clearer. So I think your microphone.
Yeah, unfortunately, So this is my headset that I've been using for the last while, and it died last week.
Right.
I have a PayPal or copy Stormchild Cosplay if anyone wants to help me replace the damn thing, because I cannot afford it.
Fair enough. No problem. Just in case you were trying to fiddle with something. Okay, so we begin.
Did I miss anything?
Second.
Did I miss anything?
Don't believe so. I was just getting Storm's. What do you call it? 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 What do you call audio, just checking, make sure there wasn't any issues on their end. But
Can you guys hear me still?
yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you. It just sounds different than regular.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not much I can do until I can replace my headset, which is going to be a while.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay,
It's
so
alright.
you find yourself, Kiva, in your own homestead. You have a moment to grab your items, and the two people in front of you are seeming to the. Let's try that again, actually. In the small hours of the evening, going just past midnight, as the clouds escape themselves behind the blanket of concealing cloud, you find yourself suddenly jolted awake by two individuals barging into your room. Before you can really come to terms with who they are and the threat that they may pose, one of them, a smaller, slighter individual, looks at you and says, "If you want to see Dorian alive again, you need to come with us." Distantly, your extremely heightened perceptions, that of your years of training and working in difficult terrains and disaster zones, pick up the sound of a downstairs door being opened and the bell above the jam jingling. You are aware that other people are intruding into your home. The two individuals, one of them is both of them female. One of them, though taller than the other, they stand pulling open the door very gently and peering out, their elven ears coming free of the cowl as their shock of white hair completely braided and held tight underneath a cap. Their armour, mostly in blacks, though some is in beige, is consumed and wrapped around by two whips that they carry. Their stance seems to be guarded as they look to the other individual. The other individual, let me get the other individual
I remember
is
a glowing green eye.
a glowing green eye. So let me get this. You see a halfling with shoulder-length silvered hair, one blue eye and one emerald green, and with pale skin. She looks kind of like a living shadow, with colorless save for her eyes and this dark blue jewel that circles her head. She's wearing a cloak that's black, and underneath that her studded leather armour is mostly in shades of grey, though it's covered in these patches that seem to speak of arcane magic. On one wrist she has a bracer that seems to be containing a bunch of daggers, very much the idea of like point the wrist and fire the dagger sort of style. And on the other hip she has a rapier, though on her belt there is a number of pouches holding various items. The thing that I think you, with your really heightened perception, would notice is that one of the daggers, it seems to absorb the light. There isn't much light here. This pale sliver of crescent moon peeking through the curtains is the only thing that really illuminates here. But around it just seems to have that ever so slight, maybe an inch or so more darkness around it than perhaps would warrant something of its size. They look at you, waiting for an answer. What do you do?
Who the fuck are you?
We're friends of Dorian. We don't have time for many questions. You can come now, or we'll leave you.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm going to turn the music down on my end, because that's going to distract. Apparently you can't change the music volume from here anymore. Interesting. Nope, still can't do it. Interesting. Okay, fine then. We'll do it the other way. Give me one moment. And music bot, turn you down slightly. Okay. So you said fine, let's go.
Fine, let's go.
Okay. You look
You're
out the
lying
window.
to me, there'll be, you won't live.
You look out the window and you see that leaning across from one of the adjacent buildings is a long ladder that has been set across the alleyway, and both these individuals, at your word, you see the other elven individual. They stand in the doorway and begin to assemble something as the halfling individual scurries across the ladder without much difficulty.
My fucking family.
What was that, sorry?
Better not hurt my goddamn my family.
The elven individual looks at you and says, they're here after you. I don't think they're going to deal with your family.
The fuck? Who? The fuck are you? Okay.
And
Who the fuck's after me?
they go out across the ladder. It's your call. Do you
Oh.
go for your family or do you follow?
I will knock the glass vase in my the jar of water, pitcher of water I keep by my bed, off the nightstand, and as a loud, hopefully that'll wake people, and then I'm just gonna go across and follow.
Okay. You were asleep, so you do not have your armor on you.
No armor, no weapons.
Nope. You probably would be able to grab like a holy symbol, because imagine that would be like a symbol
Yeah,
around your
so
neck or
it's
something,
a
right?
necklace that hangs around her neck.
So yeah.
She rarely takes. She
Yeah,
only
so you've
takes
got
them
that.
off
So you
the
can
base,
cast some spells, but no weapons, no armor. So that'll be useful. So I need you.
Grabs component back.
I need you to roll an acrobatics with advantage to cross.
Hey. Acrobatics, this is not a skill I have an enormous amount of strength then. You know, I'm really not that good at... You guys couldn't have picked a better way to come in? Check on the advantage. Nope.
There we go.
Sorry, I rolled 20 through those briefly. 19.
19. With surprising ability, and even yourself, you scramble across the rooftop and you begin running into the night. The two individuals seem to flank you on either side, both of them clearly faster than you, but holding at your speed quite comfortably. You leap over one set of buildings, come to a drain pipe, and one by one you skitter down it into an alleyway. You then run across a large boulevard. I need you to roll a d20, please.
Good shake. Off the table. 10.
10. 10. The halfling says to the elf, Vaz, rooftop. And you watch as the elf looks up, sees something, and darts off to one side. Can you roll me a perception check?
Yep. Sorry. Don't fuck me in the hole. 29. Natural 20.
Natural
29.
Okay, so you watch as this Vaz starts off into another alleyway, and you watch them as they uncoil their whips from the body. They step onto one side of the building, leap across onto the other side of the alley, step again, both whips come up and seem to catch on something. They then use that to curl themselves over the top, land on top of the building, and for a brief moment you see as these two like lightning-esque whips crack out at something, and then they dart behind a number of the high towers and the smokestacks that obscure your view. You continue running. Can you roll another d20, please? 2. Okay. No encounter. You dart along another street, going left, then going right. You come to a halt as this person puts a hand on you, coming to a stop. Can you roll a con save, actually? Actually, oh, hold on, wait. Actually, what is your con modifier?
My con modifier is +3.
Okay, so then yeah, you don't need to do this one. So you've got 3 turns of these before you need to make some saves. So you come to a stop, we come to a moment. She looks around, looks left, looks right. We'll hold here until Vaz shows up. They turn and look at you. I'm very sorry for all this, I really am, but I need your help, and Dorian does too.
What is going on?
Someone's after you. Not sure why, not sure who. Someone's after your order. They've all gone missing. At that moment, you hear the and the elven individual, Vaz, comes down in a crouch, gives a nod. You see a number of hand gestures go backwards and back and forth between the two of them, obviously speaking in a silent tongue. The halfling gives a nod, their bright green eye glowing slightly as they cast through and seem to look through a building. They're coming in from 3 sides, we'll have to double back. Can you roll a d20?
17.
17. Okay. You double back on yourself, coming to a large coming to a, for lack of better words, a squat building, very sagged and aged poorly, as if termites have eaten away at most of its structure. It seems to sag in itself as if a leather hat, once proud and pointed, now extremely beaten and trod upon. Its eaves bowing down almost to the same height as the windows. As you come to that, Vaz and the halfling curse, and they both turn on either side of you. And you can see on one side there is this dark cowled individual, on the other side is another dark cowled individual. Vaz says to you, "Get the one behind us, we'll deal with these ones." And you watch as both Vaz and the halfling multiply. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and they just slide sideways. I need to roll initiative.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Just regular, just roll d20. Regular initiative.
13.
13, okay. 13, and I got a... did this earlier. I got a... where the fuck has it gone? I got a... no wait, that's... where's it gone?
I am so burned. I am so burned.
I got a 9 plus... 4, 13. What'd you say you got?
I got 13 overall.
I got 13 as well, so you go first. 9 plus 4.
I got +1 on my...
You go first. It's you versus this one individual, so it's a 1-on-1.
Okay. Kiva will sort of spin. What's the distance to the target?
About 40 feet. They've come out. It's you see this individual, completely black of cowl, like utterly cowless. The halfling looked like she was made out of shadow. This person looks like they're made out of darkness. They are completely black and obscured.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at first level
Okay.
at this person, and 24.
24. I can't stop that. Okay, roll for damage.
Cool. So Guiding Bolt is... Stop! Sometimes technology hates me. Today is definitely one of those days. The Guiding Bolt is refusing to do its thing. Sorry, gang.
Robin, can you roll a d20 for me?
Yes. That's a 17.
17, okay.
46, that's... Okay. Oh my god.
I seem to be having... oh, there we go.
One more d6. One more d6. Come on, they're not that hard to find.
'Why am I having such difficulties with this website?
17 radiant damage. And advantage on my next attack again. On the next attack made against them.
Alrighty, nice, nice. For some reason my computer is having a lot of lag issues. I'm going to quickly try and do something. See if I can get this. Going to quickly try and clear some of the stuff off my computer because my processing is just going extremely slow. No, that's proof there. I just typed DRAG and it came up with CHO.
That's not how it works.
Yep, that's not how typing works. There we go, let's do that. And what is my computer running at? Yeah, I'm running at 88% for some reason, what the heck. Let's try and cut some of those things down a little bit. There we go, that's much more manageable. Now under 70. Oh yeah, that's a big improvement. Sorry about that. Okay, so you said it's 17? Oh no, that was Robin. What'd you roll for damage there, Kiva?
17 damage.
Oh, you did roll 17. Okay, as the
You idiot.
spiraling vortex spins around and slams into the creature, it brings up a dagger almost as if to try and parry it, but does not manage to do so. They stroll back and look irritated. You said I got 17. Okay, this individual spins around and flings a dagger at you. With a 17 plus to hit, I think that's going to hit.
Unarmored, ouch.
Okay, that will... Vi, do you mind rolling... Can you roll 2d6, please?
You're muted.
You're muted.
3 and 2.
3 and 2, okay. So, Kiva, this dagger flies out towards you and strikes you. What are the highest spell slots that you currently have?
And 2. Like, my
What?
highest spell slot, I have 1 level 2 and 3 level 1s.
Okay,
Or
well
2
then-
level 1s remaining.
On level 2. Okay, so that means you take an extra. Okay, so. D4
Did you say I take extra?
Yes, you will.
Fucking Mage Hunter.
You take 15 points, some of that being psychic damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Cool, how much of that is psychic damage?
10 of that is psychic damage.
Cool, it's 5.
Nice.
God bless dual minds.
You hear
So
in your
16,
mind
did
your
you say?
15 points, so that would be 10 points total, yeah. 10 points. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. 18.
18. That is a success. Okay, then that changes that. Okay, this individual, as they hit you, you watch as a section of their shadow peels out and slashes across you before returning to their body. You can see like there's almost like 2 of them floating there in the same space, but one of them is clearly the original with this glowing aura around them. In your mind, you hear I've forgotten your dual mind's name. Sorry.
Lyriel.
Say again.
Lyriel.
Viriel. You hear Viriel.
Lyriel.
Lyriel. You hear Lyriel almost start to hyperventilate. That's them. I recognize them. Run, run.
Can't fucking run. They're faster than me.
You turn left and turn right, and you see that Vaz and the halfling are currently engaging in their own duels as multiple shadows seem to be moving around, bouncing across. Vazreen puts a whip round and flings them across, only for the halfling to stab them with one of their daggers. Your turn again.
Okay, let's do this then. Then I am going to cast, using my last 2nd level, I'm going to drop a spiritual weapon right next to this person. As a bonus action, it is going to thwack them.
Okay.
On arrival. 26.
26. Nope, can't do anything about that. Go on then.
8 force damage.
8 force damage. That uses your advantage, by the way.
Hang on, sorry. Let me just roll that again and roll another d20 to just check that. Okay, no, I didn't get higher, so
Okay, yep,
the only
that
way I
hits.
can go higher is a natural 20. Anyway. And then I am going to... can it make me a...
Dex save? Wisdom save?
dexterity saving, please?
Robin, roll a d20 for me.
Alright. 11.
11. What's your DC?
17.
They will make that as they suck sideways and roll coming up. They seem irritated by this.
Would you fuck off?
It is now their turn. Jasmine, roll a d20 for me.
D20.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 19.
19, that's going to hit you then. Vi, can you roll 2d6 again for me, please?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. 2. Okay. That's going to be this one then. T4 plus. Okay, Akiva, you take 14 points, this time 6 of it being psychic damage. I need you to make a constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. 14.
Mm-hmm.
9, and then I
So it'd
did,
be
17. So I rolled 17, and I
17.
take 9 damage.
Yes.
No, 11 damage, sorry.
11, yes, 11 damage. And yeah, once again you make the save. Edge. Your turn.
Okay, sorry, what was the... Yeah, so... Okay, so my bonus action, swing with the spiritual weapon.
Yep.
Natty 1.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hit it with another guiding bolt.
Okay.
Dice jail for you.
Another big fail.
Natty 1 again.
Another nat 1. As you fire the guiding bolt at it, this time the creature brings round and you see them point out with this dagger they've been throwing at you, and it hits the dagger, and the spell just disappears. Seeming to have gotten what they wanted, the one fighting you moves the one fighting you seems to run in close to attack you, only for your two allies to one of them grab you and seeming to... You've seen it used before, you've seen Dimension Door used before. So they grab hold of you and you Dimension Door away. You find yourself in an alley you do not recognise, or should I say above an alley you do not recognise, standing on a very narrow strip of wooden planking that connects two larger, higher up buildings, as this balustrade between two balconies, should I say? And you look out across the city, you see the alley where you were, and you see, with your passive perception, this is still the halfling. The elf is not with you.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck was that?
They're after blood or something. I don't know what they're after. We need to keep going. We're nearly there. Come on. And you take off
Fucking
again.
mage hunters.
Roll a d20, please.
6.
6. No account happens. You make it back onto the city streets and begin making your way to a section of the city you're not really that familiar with. It's a largely residential area with a lot of the crafting components, breweries and artisans' points, people who design clothes and tailors and such. An area that you don't really have a lot of reason to work with. It's more of a slightly more affluent area. Can you roll another d20, please?
Um, 15 this time.
15. The halfling hands you a healing potion.
Okay.
2d4 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll need you to make a constitution saving throw, please.
Yep, that's fine. 2d4 plus 2. 7. Ah, shit, 10.
10. So you get 10 hit points back.
No, sorry, that was what I rolled on the con.
Oh, okay.
So 10 for the con, 7 for the healing potion.
7, you get with a 10 you just succeed actually. It goes up, so the next one will be 11. You take a bit of a wheeze as you enter this area. As you do so, the elf seems to have managed to catch up to you, but you can see they look quite injured in their individual encounter.
Let me help. Kiva will put her hand out towards the elf. She's like, I've got some juice left. I can help. I can do a fair bit more battering than I have. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on the elf.
Okay.
If she'll let me.
She will most certainly take it.
10 HP back.
10 HP.
No, sorry. 10 plus 13 HP back. I briefly forgot my own bonuses to healing. Also, I gained 3 HP back.
You gain it or they gain?
I gained 3 HP. So they gain 13. I gain an additional 3.
Ah, okay.
Cleric of Life, baby!
Alrighty. I need you to roll another d20.
Okay. 1.
1, that's fine. Low is good in this situation. We're effectively rolling percentile, but it's quicker to roll the d20. So another non-encounter. You continue running. You need to make a con save at the end of your turn to see if you stave off the exhaustion. It's DC 11 now.
13.
13, no problem. You continue running. Vaz says to you, "You're doing much better than we were hoping. We had anticipated you being slower. This is doing well. We're almost there. A few more blocks."
Where's my...
Vaz moves ahead, but you see the halfling move even faster than them, and they seem to form a bit of a almost like a gymnast's or like a cheerleading routine where one lifts the other one up, and as Pip hoists Vaz up, Vaz then whips down, catches hold of the halfling's wrist, pulls her up, and then the whip comes down and pulls you up. You're back on the rooftops. And you need to roll one last d20.
19.
19. 19. Okay, you come to where it's effectively you come to what looks very nondescript, like 2 large smokestacks connected on a brickwork cuboid. That's the word. Brickwork cuboid. As one of them moves forward and goes to touch it, a dagger whizzes past and impacts the brickwork, and you 3 turn and you see one of these shadow darkness individuals as they continue running towards you. You need to roll another initiative actually.
Fuck. 18.
18, okay, you You will be... Let me get my rolls again. 18. You're beaten out by both your companions as they once again take on a fighting stance. The elf whips forward and wraps the rope, wraps their whip around the wrist of the individual and pulls them forward onto the dagger of the halfling. As they kind of struggle backwards and forwards, they get a couple slashes as this creature makes 1, 2, 3 across, and you see that the weapon that Vaz has been using this entire time cuts in half, and they toss it away trying to bring out another one. It is now your turn.
I will cast Sacred Flame on the new arrival.
Okay, that is...
I am out of spell slots.
That is
No,
a... No, that's a... That's a 19.
Yep, they dodge it.
Okay. Their turn, they seem to disengage from your two allies, swing round you, and begin a swipe towards you. Jasmine, roll a d20.
3.
3. That is going to be... What's your AC right now?
7.
7.
11.
11. Okay. That's actually just hitting you then. I thought I was going to miss.
As they do, you sort of keep us Paler guard me. Barrier of golden light just rises up. Shield! Thank you for the piety feature! It means my AC is 16 to the end of my next turn!
The dagger goes through the magical barrier and still hits you. You see it. You see the shield come up and it just shatters it, just completely destroyed. Vi, or Ida, I should say. Can you roll me 2d6, please?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. They don't really know that you're resistant to it, so they don't also know how many spell slots you're missing. So yeah, let's just do that one again. Okay, I need you to make a Constitution saving. Actually, no, you don't have any spells left. Never mind. For a total of 9 points. 3 of which are psychic, so actually that would be 7 in total. 7 in total.
Okay.
Your allies then seem to hold and restrain this individual, and the elf flips over the back of the two smokestacks and tells you to get round behind.
I do what she says.
Okay. On your turn, you go round behind, as if holding an action. The halfling then does a. You see the halflings move through the smokestack, solidify something, and then elbow backwards, whoosh, and you all disappear from the area. The three of you stand in a place that smells of sawdust and lacquer. It is sickly sweet to the scent, almost as if molasses or honey was being processed here. It is pungent in the aroma, but it seems as they look around and seem to slag slightly, you are in a place of safety.
What the fuck were those things?
I told you. They were after you. Whatever they are, they're no friends.
You don't know.
We have some ideas, but I think maybe a moment before we answer any pressing questions. We have things that we need to discuss, and there's people that you need to meet. You are led, if someone wouldn't mind putting on Calm, the playlist, Calm. You come into another room, going through back panel and lifted tapestry, if you will. Secret entrances that lead you somewhat underground into a small containment unit. It's not very large. This is obviously some form of recess underneath the building that has now been used as a hideout. Underneath, glowing lanterns fill the area with quite a nice illumination, as well as a smokeless flame that burns in a number of corners. Individuals that move in, you see that the place is predominantly empty save for one other individual. Beds are here, as well as trunks and bunks and other accoutrements, so you can replace your armor or grab a replacement shield for the time being if you so wish. The individual that seems to catch your eye is this beardless dwarf. Brown chocolate skin, bright teeth and shining eyes. As you move in, they turn to you and give a bit of a bowed nod.
Where's Dorian?
Dorian, I'm afraid, says the dwarf, is not here right now. We are currently trying to track down the whereabouts, which is why we were keeping an eye on your domicile, and why when we saw you return, we knew that we had to act. Apologies for the rude introduction. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mosby. This is Vaseline, and this is Pip. As you
Pleasure to meet you.
may have already deduced by our flight and our relationship with your dear Dorian, we are members of the Brotherhood, and we would mostly wish to keep this as a civil affair, though that we know our reputation can often precede us.
You know, you guys aren't the baddies in this one.
That is good to hear. I'm afraid that my time here is incredibly short, as I am needed elsewhere for other tasks, but these two are to be your guard and informant as much as they can. I have access to some other information, so I'll give you what I can know, as it will probably assuage some of your fears. We know that Dorian is alive. They were taken perhaps 3 days ago. We know that they're still within the city, as we have managed to block off most of the escape routes for taking non-members outside, though unfortunately we cannot be 100% sure of this. Your order is being particularly targeted for many reasons, though any order that does work within the quarrel seems to have some level of resistance to it, all save a few. We, being ones that work behind the shadows, have been best to handle it, and though our reputation has preceded us, we are currently trying to get other members higher up in your establishment to listen to what we have to say. Dorian led us to believe that it would be futile, but we feel it is owed to them and to you that we at least try.
What the fuck is going on in the quarrel?
Let me get... Info. What's been going on in the quarrel? As you understand, the quarrel is a place ripe for the picking for people who are lacking opportunity and are desperate enough to take a bad deal. Your order has been extremely influential in that area, but I am sad to say that it is not the only order and the only organization that has been successful there. We have a working relationship with the Order of St. Calandra, and by extension the Platinum Sanctuary, to provide escape routes, safe havens for those that are most under scrutiny by our otherwise enemies. They are an entity in a group known as the House. They are targeting those that are doing good work there because they do not want good work to happen. People who rise up and do good work in the Republic are another reason for the Republic to continue. Our opponents, the House, the Angdare, and other rivaling gangs out for profit, do not find such morality to be within their code. They are far more likely to remove people who stand for that or who are trying to raise themselves from pits of despair Because the more people in despair, the easier they are to manipulate.
Fucking wonderful. Great.
Are you hurt? Can I offer you anything?
A little bit. I'll be fine.
Are you certain? You seem to have been
Nothing that won't heal with a good night's sleep. Which,
very well.
uh,
Did you
apparently
encounter any strange effects from when you were struck? Did you notice any of your magic being undone?
Well, they, I through my connection to Palor, I have some gifts that can make it easier to defend myself. Like give just protective magics mainly, like a shield when things are particularly dire.
Hmm.
But that didn't work. I threw one, I pulled on my connection, and the shield went up, and it broke straight through.
Did they do anything to you specifically? Did you feel any of
just
your
heard
magic being blocked? Any effects of your power
No.
being stripped away?
I know, like there was the sort of head pain that comes with when someone's trying to hurt your mind directly, but I'm fairly resilient to that.
Then you are very fortunate indeed. Many mages have found themselves blocked from many aspects of their magic when dealing with these creatures. I will hand over to Pip, as she has more information about this, and I feel like I'm stepping on the information that she might want to compartmentalize. She knows you more than I do, but I trust Pip when she says that we have individuals that are of key importance to us. She has gained my trust here.
Okay.
Again, apologies for the quick interruption, but I must make my leave.
That's fine.
And Mosby makes their way out. Left in the silence, Vazarine and Pip move to various points and disrobe of their arms and armour, though you see that Vazarine and Pip maintain a couple of smaller personal defence items rather than true out-for-battle combat gear, just to be on the safe side.
Vasvin is the
Elf.
halfling, right?
And Vazarine is the elf, who was the one dual-wielding whips, and Pip is the colourless halfling.
And Vasvin looks like she's Drow.
You could probably come to that conclusion, yeah. Drow, at least in some part in their lineage, you're not sure how much is at present Drow or not. After disrobing, and seeming to become more comfortable, Pip moves forward and offers a hand. It's good to finally meet you. I've heard good things about you.
Nice to meet you. I don't know who the fuck you are, but I'm assuming you're one of Dorian's little friends that he keeps going off on adventures with.
I would probably say more that Dorian is a friend of mine. We've worked together. We've had some level of contact. Let me get exactly the wording. Dorian was a person that would feed me certain bits of information. I would provide services for them and keep certain of their indiscretions and certain of their hobbies.
Out of the radar?
You could say that, yes. It would seem that we're not popular with not just your order, but we're not particularly popular with the Republic's idea of religion.
Kiva sort of sways a little bit and just sort of like sort of flops and sits on one of the bunks quite hard. It's like, okay, that's the adrenaline gone. Oh boy, fuck me. This is not good. Okay, so
I'm afraid it isn't.
Shit, I really need to get away bringing Mulgar's places with me. Oh boy, I hope they didn't hurt him.
I'm sure you're curious about how I was able to track you down. or
Dorian,
why
Yeah,
we're
he's
even
clearly told
contacting you.
Dorian has clearly told you quite a bit about me.
Dorian has actually
So-
told me extremely little about you.
Okay, how the fuck did you track me down then?
I've been waiting for you to return home. As you say, I've worked with Dorian before. It was not particularly hard to figure out from the bounty hunting guild who was going where and what groups were doing what, and it was easy enough to follow you from there to get some level of location where I could find you.
Okay. We fought fucking mage hunters, didn't we?
We did, yes. We don't know who they're affiliated with. We don't know how they have these powers, but we're pretty sure that they are responsible for a lot of the high-profile assassinations that have been going on in the Republic as of late. We think it's probably one of the reasons that Councilwoman Buer and General Totembar have a differing level of priority in the capital.
Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, we just liberated a fire dynasty. Gives the name of the fire dynasty we just saved.
They give a nod. And why did you do that?
He's one of my friends. Because he's the dad of a friend of a friend. And he was under some kind of dark pact that kept him alive when he should be dead from a disease that we couldn't do anything about.
Vazarine steps forward at this point. Forgive me for being slightly cynical in this matter, but that
Kivra is literally
seems...
not meeting her eyes right now. Like, Kivra's looking forward.
That's fine. Forgive me for being slightly cynical, but that seems a small reason to do something so dangerous. Rescuing a person from a dark pact because they're a friend of a friend?
We're also trying to find out where the fuck Dorian is, who the fuck's causing all of the people who are disappearing and then returning and behaving completely fucking differently. What's going on with them? There's a lot of shit going on. Oh, and there's also this thing called the Puran, which is a whole other fucking bullshit, but they're apparently going to bring evil winters. Huh. Oh, Jesus Christ, I've gone up in something really fucking big, aren't I?
You
Fucking
do not
healer.
need to be wrapped up in anything, Pip says.
Oh, too late. Too
No,
fucking late.
it really isn't. It is a case of what you wish to do and how much you're willing to risk to do it. We're not going to force you. You're a friend of one of our members. You see that Pip took a moment to hesitate there before revealing that.
Am I not
You're-
surprised?
You're a friend of one of our members, and with them missing, we want to know as much as we can about that. You don't need to be involved in what we're doing with. It would help,
Dorian.
we'll not lie, but it is all up to you in the end. We're not going to force you.
It's Dorian. Like, it's Dorian. I'd do anything for him. You know that. If he's told you anything about me, he'll have told you that. It's like, he was like my dad for a while.
Very well then. Pip moves back and props herself up on one of the tables as Vazarine kicks her feet up on the table, leaning back in a rocking chair. Both of them looking at you curiously, just giving you a moment to calm and have that moment to yourself.
Kiva's just sort of gonna grip the necklace and just sort of start humming, sort of quietly singing under her breath in Kalashtar. And Corey, sorry. Rocking. Sort of holding her toe symbol as she does so. Just focusing in on that connection to Palor and her more calm. Like, just... She's not alone. This isn't what she wanted. But she's not alone. And this can be dealt with. She's got the rest of her group. He's just a bit fucked up. Okay,
Pip.
this is more than I used to.
Leaning forward to try and catch your eye. You're not the only one that's been in this situation. I can relate to that. These people took a friend of mine and my brother, and believe me when I say I know what that feels like, to be feeling scared and to feel powerless for a moment.
I need to tell whatever I won't. The Brotherhood are doing the right thing. Just as a note, that's the general opinion you'll get from most members of the Order. We're apolitical. Because if we're apolitical, it lets us get away with. It means we can help people. We're more likely to be left the fuck alone. But apparently that's not working anymore. Oh, Dorian was right. We really need to stop being up with all the apolitical bullshit.
Dorian had ideas, and those
I've always had
ideas,
ideas.
for better or for worse, are why they're with us. And that might be a reason why you're here. Again, we don't really know why they're going after those people. We only have our assumptions. But I know what it's like. So
I need to. If I can get evidence, the Exarch will move against the house. Literally, the guaranteed way to pull us into anything is going after members. Dorian may be a bit of a maverick, but he's one of ours. We're
that,
our
I
family.
believe, is what Mosby is attempting to do. Mosby has acquired enough information that I hope will be enough to persuade those most reluctant to take action. But again, it's hard to say. Bazarine snorts. Yes, because it is all about the evidence, never about someone else's actual actions. Always having to do evidence. You can see that they are devolve into undercommon, and they mutter to themselves. Might I ask who you're with, Kiva? Who are your companions? Who do you work with?
Well, there's 5 of us. There's Vi. She's a pretty cool wizard. Almost as anxious as me. We've got a member of some kind of important fuddy-duddy from Tempus. Gerd and May, his sister, she's weird. Sweet, but weird. Weird thing about death as well. And then there's Misty. Well, if you've got connections to the Guild of Bounty Hunters, you know Misty, and picked up someone called Calcifer Hamburg. I don't really know what to make of him other than he's noble born, weird. Really wants me to attend a fucking massive party thing soon. Fundraiser. Information gathering.
I think you're slightly going off topic there. Allow me to cut to the chase. Allow me to cut to the chase. Your group seems like a group of action, and that's what I need right now. I need a group that is willing to take action to do things. If you are one of those people and you think you can convince your allies to do otherwise, then we can do business together. Maybe even become friends. I'm afraid, though, that there's a lot at stake here, so I need you to be aware of how serious this is. This isn't about your family, your friends, this is about my family, my friends. So I know this is going to come off perhaps a little harsh, but I need to know that you can speak to your friends and they will listen to you.
They'll listen.
You seem to be a person that's slightly easily overwhelmed. So if you don't feel like you can do this, I understand. But I need to know, can you do this?
It's my family too. It's everyone's fucking families. We've got a year. And then everything goes to shite. And all of this comes crashing down because some fucking magical bastards think it needs to come down. So, yeah, maybe that's not your house, that's the Biran thing, that's the Biran related bullshit, but 13 magical bastards from another realm have problems with the Republic, and we need to do something fast, so yeah, they'll act, we'll act. If it's gonna fucking make people's lives better, we'll act. Misty might not, but that's because she's a bounty hunter, she's a bit weird. But I'm hoping she's, gonna prove to be a good person on this one.
Would some level of payment help with that?
Probably. She'll always do. Money seems to be quite one of her primary motivators.
In that case, I can offer some level of magical assistance then.
We can offer. Yeah, we'll do what need. We'll do it.
Healing and magic we can offer. That's what I can offer, and I want you to take that back to your group. By all means, stay here for the night. It's safe. We can take you to another place if you prefer. Wouldn't recommend going back to your home this night. I'll also say that it was probably very unwise of you to go to a place like that when you know that there are dangerous individuals lurking.
I don't exactly expect to be attacked in my own fucking home.
And why not? It's the perfect place to attack you when you feel safe.
In case it had escaped your notice, I'm a fucking 5'3" healer and cleric. I'm not a soldier. I'm not a warrior.
If it escaped your notice, you are part of a very influential order and powerfully magically gifted. That is enough reason. Hell, even one or the other is enough reason for you to be removed. The city is not as safe as it once was.
That I've been away for a while. Shouldn't have gone with Misty.
What I want you to take back to your friends, and your allies, and your party, is I want them to help me and Vazarine here. The two of us are going to be striking at a couple of locations. The problem is there isn't enough of us to strike at all the locations. These people are very slippery, very good at moving in the shadows, as you've seen. We have our abilities, but we're lacking in numbers. We can pay, if that would be the more dire factor, though obviously we would prefer to keep those resources to be used rather than as payment. You know what we do, you understand that we are trying to remove the institution of slavery. Every resource that we can save can be used elsewhere, but we have this set aside for this mission if it comes to that.
See, hopefully they won't. Yeah, no. I'll see what I can do.
Very well. Here's all the details. The house is made up of 4 distinct sects, each of them corresponding or coded by some level of moniker and playing deck of cards: spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs. Each of them has their own speciality, and each of them does their own thing for the entire organization. They compete with one another for prestige as well as for position. The more powerful they are, the more capable they are. The higher their number in the suit, the more dangerous they will be. We know that there are at least 3 points within the city, one of them within the quarrel, and 2 elsewhere. We'll keep that detail to ourselves because that is not required for you to know at the moment.
Okay.
One of our groups can attack and handle one of those locations. We would need probably myself with one part of your group and Vazreen with another part of your group to strike those other 2 locations at the same time. Understand that it would mean splitting your group into smaller pieces, but Sir Hamburg has the capabilities with necromancy and can bring up puppetry. If Sir Hamburg was involved, then at least we'd have increased numbers for this potential raid.
He'd probably get involved. I don't know the guy well enough to know what the fuck he'll plan to do, but he's definitely an anti-slavery sort, I think. Oh,
Well,
I don't know. I haven't really had time to talk to him.
Say again,
business.
sorry?
Haven't really had time to talk to the guy. Hopefully he's aligned with anti-slavery stuff.
We're not in any rush to move, though the longer we wait, obviously the potential greater harm that can come to those in their custody. We don't think that they're doing anything harmful to anybody. It's just a case of hostages for pressure, perhaps. Again, we have assumptions, but we don't need to know them.
When my group went into the quarrel together, we all went into the quarrel and did our thing. We're gonna get a bunch of information soon from what we did. I ran into a place. We found in a alleyway. We found a burnt out house and a bunch of 5 murdered people, 2 slaves.
You see
Caught me
Vazreen seem to... From the corner of your eye, you notice them not get angry, but just like their hackles raise at the mention of this.
The slaves weren't the target, they just were caught in the crossfire. Someone burned your mark. The mark of the Brotherhood into the wall. Next to the 3 corpses.
Vazreen looks to you. Do you think it was us?
From what I know of you, it doesn't fit your methods.
And what does your group think?
They don't know it as much as I do. I know more, but I live here and more. This is my they don't really. I don't know what they think, but they don't. I think they'd agree. Like I said to them, it doesn't fit what I know of your methods, because if you guys had been hitting that front group, well, you wouldn't. I don't think you'd have killed a child for starters. That
No.
seems pretty far outside your fucking remit, and then you definitely wouldn't have killed the slaves. You'd have maybe targeted the father of the group because he was a fucking slaver. But you might have knocked him out, but he's the only one you'd have knocked off properly, possibly. And even then, you might not have. You might have just focused on the bringing his merchant.
No. I will stop you there right now. Your assumptions are going far too wide. We did not do this. Our enemies did this and are trying to frame us.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured that. Like, what I know of you guys is you're much more precise. You tend to free slaves, burn down auction houses without anyone in them, occasionally make an example of a particularly brutal slaver.
Slavery
occasionally...
is a cancer that is rotting at the bedrock of what this republic can stand for.
I don't disagree with you, funnily enough.
And as you said, we are not going to randomly start killing people who disagree. People are entitled to their beliefs, but we are going to entitle to ours.
Also, people shouldn't be property, but that's by the by. Right.
Look.
So, the house... Is it the house you think has Dorian?
Vazreen looks to Pip. Then looks back
Or
to
is it
you.
the Angdar?
We think it is the house. We're not entirely sure why, but the house is the one that has Pip's brother and my friend. And it was for this reason that we believe that they are targeting people here. We know that Dorian has some capabilities with magic, and we know that they are people who are out to kill and destroy magic users. That is enough reason for them to kill him. The fact that we did not find any... The fact that you remember him proves that he
The
is still
fact that I
alive.
remember him.
Yes. There are strange holes that get left when people go missing like that. You remember him.
They have the capacity to fuck with them.
Yes.
Sort of unkeepable mutter under just sort of very low. That's why
Sort of will go in her head to L'Oreal. That's why you've been freaking out, isn't it?
She almost that
You can sense
quivering
them
nod.
ripping holes in memories.
Sorry, say that part again.
You can sense that they can rip memories away.
I think we need to have a conversation about why I'm here and what has happened to the rest of my people.
Yeah, there's more than... Yeah. We definitely do.
Whatever way
Okay,
this goes
so-
forward, I think... I don't want to see you get hurt. And I'll be truthful, I don't feel comfortable doing this. Your group is so broken and so divided and so much for themselves that I don't think it's a good idea to get involved in anything else bigger until that gets solved. I just don't see it working. I think people are going to die and
People die all the time. More to the point.
but they
This
don't
feels like
have
it'll
to.
wait. This doesn't feel like it'll wait. This is bigger. We're on a timeline. This is bigger than all of us. And individual differences. And hopefully we can all be fucking adults about that. But we'll fucking see. This is not what I signed up for. I signed up to just go and heal people and live my life. Like, this bit is out loud. Just, this isn't what I signed up for. Or, I signed up to do new things, but here I am, caught in the middle of so much shit. People. Why are sentience so fucking complicated?
Vaz kind of looks to Pip and in silent speech says something, and Pip looks back and says something back, and they look back to you, just giving you that moment.
We have a V. What did Dorian tell you about me?
Dorian said that you are a person who is kind, a person that is dedicated to a task once they have set their mind upon it, and is a person that whose mind has enough going on inside it to fill 3 heads. His words, not mine.
4 or 5. No, that's about accurate. You can, let's go. Head not empty. Head just too full. Right here.
Dorian,
Yeah, no, that tracks, bastard.
Dorian said that you are a person who's willing to take action. And when Dorian went missing, we wanted to see if we could find you. We've been waiting for you for some time. And when you finally made your way home, it was a case of now or never. And I'm glad that we did.
Sorry, got tired of cleansing Thalud. That was an accident. Weird accident.
They kind of look
I
at
met
one
the god of
another
death.
and then look back at you and give that. With your insight, you can tell that they're nodding. They don't believe you, but they're nodding.
No, Jenny. May has some shit going on with what's his.
Look, Pip raises a
Sharing
hand.
my secrets.
Pip raises a hand. We don't need to know these things. Sometimes people do not want you speaking so many things about them without them present. Do you want to sleep here, or would you prefer being taken to another place?
I just sleep in my own fucking bed. That's what I was planning to do. One of my rooms in the fucking temple, but that's not gonna happen.
We can take you back to the temple. We know the temple will be a safe place.
In that case, I'd like to sleep at the temple.
Very well.
That's safer. That is familiar. It'll be easier. Fuck, I don't dream. Just sort of privately to L'Oreal. Thank fuck we don't dream, huh, darling? Hi, honey.
She kind of gives that tremulous... internally you hear the tremulous smile, but there is still a lot of anxiety there. Naturally.
We have a lot of talking to do.
But you are escorted back to the temple, You are not
How will I
attacked
contact?
again.
I will say to Pip, how do I contact you? Or will you find me? Again.
Pip reaches into one of her pockets and pulls out what seems to be like a very long scroll, kind of parchment, and tears off part of it and hands it to you. Give us a time or location, and we'll meet. It's a scroll of, and if you want to mark it in your inventory, it is a scroll of telescription. Basically, it's a sending scroll.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, I'll just add it to my inventory. Okay, wait. If I sleep on it, I can probably... This works a lot better than... Thank you. Okay, this'll do.
Kiva. Kiva.
Yes, I'm listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. And... I'll do everything I can and... I don't know if either of you are magically gifted, but if I had to... If that sends messages... If you need healing and I'm in town, drop me a line. Anytime. I'm not gonna... What you guys do is important. I'm not gonna leave you out to dry.
We'll
With
let
the
you know when
frickin'-
we're ready, but if you can become ready sooner than that, let us know.
I will.
And as you are approaching the temple, you, even with your incredible perception, they just seem to melt into the shadows.
When Kiva gets into range of the temple, she's going to put her hand up to the wound on her chest that is still there and still, like, it's crusted over now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still quite a visible wound and a slit in her night. Kiva was in her night clothes when she ran.
Yeah.
She's basically just sort of coming in and going, "You're right."
The appropriate
Sort of
fusses
just
are made
waves
about
at
you.
the waves at one of the knights, so they go, "Hey, I've had a rough night."
The appropriate fusses are made. The appropriate questions are asked. Is there anything? What do you tell them? Is the question. How much do you tell them?
What Kiva will say is that people work into her house. She's worried about her parents. Two friends of Dorian's saved her, and they said that the people who were attacking her also have Dorian.
Okay.
Kiva won't say who Pip and just won't say that it's the Brotherhood who did it. But will just go, it's, they have the people who attacked me, the friends who rescued me, they didn't really say how they knew him, they just said they were friends of Dorian's, the people who attacked us they've been hunting people, and our people being the Order in the quarrel, like the people who attacked me were hunting people in the quarrel and were hunting good-do-gooders in the quarrel. They said that it was something to do with a group called the House.
Oh, so you tell
And
that
also,
part.
they're mage hunters.
Okay, so you basically,
Like, gonna mention
you
their
tell them
mage hunters
everything
and
except the
the
names.
Except the fact that it's the Brotherhood who rescued me, that it's members of the Brotherhood who rescued me. Just that they were friends of Dorian's.
Okay.
There's enough ambiguity with just how much shite Dorian gets up to. Because Dorian is not, for a member of the Order, Dorian is notably politically active. Which is one of
So
the problems.
just to confirm, the only thing you leave out is that it is Pip and Vazreen. That's the only thing you leave out. You spill the beans on everything about the house, about the Order being attacked, about the kidnapping, about mage hunting. You tell them absolutely everything.
I tell them that basically Iago's attacked in my house. Like, people were trying to attack me in my house. Two friends of Dorian rescued my ass and told me that an organization called The House had Dorian. And also the people who attacked me were mage hunters.
So yeah, everything there. Okay.
Like,
Alrighty.
I don't see why Kiva. Like, the thing is, Kiva would work to protect Pip and Vespine's identities, but wouldn't. Like, Kiva has no reason to distrust her order, so yeah, basically, she wouldn't say how she was. Like, she'd say she was rescued by 2 people.
That's fine. That's fine. I should take a note of that. Alrighty.
Kiva has no reason to distrust her order.
Okay.
Like, even if she doesn't get along with like the Knight Marshal, she gets along very well with the Exarch and everyone else. And they're good people. They don't deserve to be
So, the night passes, the morning comes, the events elsewhere in the city take place. A shopping excursion is taken, as well as a tour of the sanctuary happens. And is Misty going to return? Can someone message Misty just to see if they're returning now, or if they're...
Hold on, they are on. I think they are watching the stream, so.
Alrighty, because that brings us back to where Misty's message received in the was received in the next day. I will pick up from there. Give us one moment. What time are we on actually? Where's my phone?
Probably a good spot to take a break and get some food.
That's what I was just thinking. But yeah, because we started at... Oh, we started at
Yeah.
7:30, didn't we? No, 6.
Started, yeah, it's been
6:30, about an hour and a half. Yeah, so we'll take a break there. A little bit
Yeah.
early for a break, but it gives a lot of things to talk about and a lot of things, a chance to get a lot of things. So we'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi. See you in a sec.
See you.
Wow.
See you in a sack. Get in the sack.
Get in the bin. I'm gonna go in the bin, guys. Bye.